Good morning. My name is Juan, EMS trainer with the City of Durham Fire Department. Today we're going to be going over hands-only CPR today. Anytime throughout this presentation, if you have any questions, just let me know, okay? All right, so basically these are objectives that we're going to go over, basically describing the critical steps involved in hands-only CPR, knowing the difference between hands-only and traditional CPR, and being able to initiate hands-only CPR in an emergency, okay? Knowing exactly what to do as far as when you're dealing with the cardiac chain of survival. There's important areas where you have to know what you need to do as far as being able to care for a patient that's down and needing help. Early access, early bystander CPR, early defibrillation, and early advanced care, okay? And knowing what you have to do with these areas. What is CPR? CPR is cardiac pulmonary resuscitation, life-saving aid technique used for teaching cardiac arrest emergencies. So as you can see, traditional CPR combines with chest compressions and breathing. If you're taking a regular class of BLS or higher. Hands-only CPR, you're only doing CPR with no breaths, okay? They came across this particular, hands-only CPR because they wanted people to understand that they can actually do something instead of not doing something. So if you get on someone's chest, we'll get into that part of what happens if you get on someone's chest and how effective it is. So a heart attack victim is breathing, heart is pumping, but insufficient for circulation. If untreated, will result in cardiac arrest. Sudden cardiac arrest definitely needs CPR. Breaths has stopped, heart has stopped pumping. What is heart attack? More likely to occur in the family history. 1/5 of heart attack victims do not have chest pain, but often have other symptoms. Victims typically deny that they are having a heart attack, okay? So these are different types of heart attack symptoms. Chest pain. So if you have anyone that you know in your family that just, kind of denies these things, but you see these things come along, they could be coming on a strong onset of having a heart attack. So a lot of older parents or grandparents, they deny having these things, like, oh, okay, it's gonna be okay, but it's gonna go away. I'm having just heartburn, but in likelihood they could be actually having a heart attack, but slowly. This is how a heart attack actually happens. So in your arteries, you're actually having the plaque that's going to be building up with that fibrosis cap that's going to be building right there, and that cap is going to get to a point where it's going to actually rupture. Once it ruptures, as your blood is trying to flow through the arteries right there, it forms a blood clot around the actual blocking artery. And that's where it slows your blood flow down, and then boom, heart attack happens. All right. Same simulation of how it is, what it would happen inside your heart, okay? Sudden cardiac arrest happens. So a person faints, may fall or slump over, loss of consciousness, unresponsiveness, no signs of breathing, and heart stops bleeding, and skin color changes. All right. Sudden cardiac arrest is the leading cause of U.S. death. Over 70% of cardiac arrest happens at home. Annually, 350,000 cardiac arrests occurs outside of the hospital. Okay. Chest compressions are more important than giving breaths. So you can double a person's chance of survival by giving chest compressions because it keeps your blood flowing, pumps oxygenated blood throughout all your organs. All right. Tips for chest compressions. 100 chest compressions per minute, at least 2 inches depth, all full chest recoil. So remember, when you're pushing down on the actual patient, you have to allow your hands to come up. So you're actually mimicking the heart beating by doing that, coming up off the chest and going back down at a tempo, okay? Pause compression only to check heart rhythm and deliver a shock. Keep all pause to less than 10 seconds, okay? Any questions so far?
No, sir.
All right. Why hands only? All right. So hands only, and traditional CPR, basically, you're going to have the scene safety, that you're going to check responsiveness. Are you okay? Get help. Call 911. If there's an AED available, make sure you just bring the AED with you, letting someone know, hey, you call 911, bring an AED if there's available. Begin CPR, deliver chest compressions, okay? And that's basically what you'll do on both hands only and traditional, okay? The difference between the two is after 3 sets of 30 chest compressions and checking for response in hands only, you will repeat the process. There is no breath given in hands only. Continue chest compressions until AED or professional arrives. And this is basically hands only. All right, so you see, let me go back a little bit. So as I mentioned, after 3 sets of 30 chest compressions and checking for a response, in hands only CPR, repeat the process. So basically you just continue doing your chest compressions until someone actually arrives, okay? All right, so chest, hand placement for effective chest compressions. So remember, I always tell people to put their thumb right here, the center of the chest and the sternum. I always say in between the nipple line of the person, and then find your groove, and then you're actually gonna compress. So what you'll do is this area on the mannequin right here, you'll find the nipple line, you'll find here, you'll put your hand right there and put the hand on top of it, and then you'll compress, okay? All right. Position for effective chest compressions. All right. So keep in mind with legal liability, Good Samaritan protection, if you're out in the field and you like, I don't want to get sued if I do this wrong, whatever, just know that we have a law called Good Samaritan protection. So if you actually do something to assist someone and giving them life or trying to bring them back or assist them, then you're protected, okay? As long as you don't come up to someone and start, trying to check them or trying to provide care, and you're like, oh, you know what, I'm not going to help them, and then you leave, then you'll become responsible for that patient because you've already started care and you left them, so you just kind of abandoned the patient, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, so hands only CPR, so 2 steps to save a life. So I always say is you want to make sure you want to call 911, say, hey, first you want to recognize what's going on with this patient first. All right, so when you recognize what's going on with this patient and you see they unconscious and they're not moving, hey, are you okay? Then you want to say, you call 911, bring an AED if there's one available. And then after you recognize they have no pulse, no breathing, you want to go ahead and start CPR or chest compressions, okay? Any questions on that so far?
No, sir.
All right, so what we're going to do now is we'll go into, I'll demonstrate exactly what needs to be done and on the mannequin, and then we'll get down and we'll demonstrate it. We'll put it all together, all right? So you have a patient right here. What you'll do is you'll come up and you'll recognize this person right here. All right. So the scene is safe. You want to make sure all the scene is always safe when you can approach someone. You get down. Hey, are you okay? Are you okay? No response. All right. A lot of times you have to shake them a little bit harder because they could be in a park somewhere. and they can actually be asleep, or they could have been drinking and they're knocked out from that. So you want to actually make sure they are okay. No response. And then when you recognize, you can actually go ahead and check and see if they have a pulse, anything like that at that point. All right. So I'll get down, look, listen, and feel for breathing. Check pulse for no more than 10 seconds. And then I know that I have someone that does not have a pulse and is not breathing. So I was like, Hugh, I need help. Can you call 911? Can you bring AED if it's available? Once y'all let someone know, I'll go ahead and start finding my placement on the victim and just doing continuous chest compressions. Okay? Any questions? All right. All right, so we're going to get down. If you want, grab a mannequin. I'll go back down to yeah. All right, so whenever you're ready, make sure your scene is safe. And once you get through that, we'll start doing chest compressions. We'll do it for 2 minutes, okay? So after 2 minutes, we'll recheck for a pulse. If no pulse, then we'll continue chest compressions, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and make sure the scene is safe. All right, scene is safe. All right, let's get down and make sure we're going to check. No response.
No response.
All right, so after no response, then you want to go ahead and hey, see if they got a pulse. Look, listen, and feel for breathing. All right, so you have no pulse and you want to let someone know, hey, let someone know that call 911.
They can call 911.
All right.
Is the AED available? Can you please provide? AED.
All right, so after you do that, what's the next step you're going to do?
Find your placement.
Find your placement and go ahead and continue and start chest compressions. So keep in mind, as you continue doing this chest compressions, that here at City of Durham, we have a 5-minute response time. So if you have your loved one that's down on the ground and you're doing chest compressions, once you get someone to call 911, you'll continue doing chest compressions until we arrive. But you want to recheck. So I will recheck the pulse every 2 minutes. So it's a cycle of what?
30.
So it's continuous chest compression. So I would do at all sets of 30 compressions and checking for response and hence only CPR. So repeat the process. So your 2 minutes is up. What do you do?
Check for pulse and breathing.
All right. All right. So no pulse.
No pulse. No pulse.
Continue chest compressions. All right, so the fire department has arrived and they decided they're going to go ahead and take over chest compressions. All right, and now you can stop. Any questions on that? This is basically hands-only CPR, and the American Heart Association that came up with this particular class to be able to allow people to do something instead of not doing anything and be able to help someone to get their actually blood flowing in their body. Any questions?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right. Well, if you guys don't have any more questions, that is it for today. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right.